All right, we're back for a second game. Had so much fun the first game. Figure why not double our pleasure? You're welcome, by the way. All right, so we are at game number 149 on the season. Another game from May the 1st, second game on the May 1st block. Yankees and the Twins. First place Yankees taking on the Minnesota Twins from the Homer Dome in Minnesota. Yes, Ben, a twofer. Figured why not come out and put a quality game out instead of waiting around and see if some other schmuck puts something out. I'll do it myself. Want something right, you do it yourself, I always say. All right, so Bert Blyleven against Rick Rhoden. Ballpark effects for Minnesota. Singles are 1 to 16 for lefties, 1 to 13 for righties, and home runs are 1 to 11 each way. Yankees tied for first place in the East at 15 and 6, and the Twins are now 9 and 12. Pitcher-catcher quotients. Blyleven, not very good holding runners. He's a +2. The catcher, Salas, is a +2 for a +4, so you know Ricky's salivating about that. Rick Rhoden's a -1, and Skinner's a 0, so that's a -1. Wild pitch for Blyleven's a 10, balk's a 0. Wild pitch for Rhoden's a 10, balk's a 2. Right, there you see the starting lineups for both teams. Pretty standard lineups, I would say, that they would normally use, so nothing out of the ordinary there as far as I can detect. And we will get going here. Just to show I have full endurance and I can play 2 games in one sitting. Hello, Joel. See you. So Bert Blyleven's 3 and 2 on the season. We'll write that in. Making his 7th start, I believe. He's got 35 innings pitched, 28 hits, 18 walks, and 33 strikeouts. Leading off will be Ricky Henderson hitting .347, 3 homers and 7 runs driven in. And the only thing I have to worry about now is to make sure the internet doesn't conk out on me. Hopefully that won't be the case. We shall see. We're underway. Doubleheader on a Saturday night. Who knew? Wasn't planned. Just worked out that way. 4-11. Fly ball left field X. We are looking at Brunansky. He's a 2E4. 2 and a 10. He'll get to it. No problems. E4. E4 for a left fielder needs to avoid a 4, 3, 15, or 18. Which he does. So it's good play for Brunansky to retire Ricky. 1 down, and that's going to send us to Willie Randolph, the veteran. Randolph at the end of his career. In this season, replays hitting .337, no homers, 13 driven in. 4-11 off of Blyleven as another fly ball left field X, same exact spot. Brunansky's going to try it again. 2 and a 9, he'll get to it. Has to avoid the same numbers, which he does, so it's good play. So Lupinella saying hit it somewhere other than left field. Brunansky seems to be on the ball. This will bring up Donnie Baseball. And he's kind of, I wouldn't say having a bad year or a bad start, but certainly not up to Don Mattingly standards for a whole season. But again, we are still early. For the replay, Mattingly's hitting .286, 3 homers, 15 driven in. He hit .327 real world. See if he can get right against Blyleven. 110 for Mattingly, and that's a single to left field. So there you go, right on cue, base hit Mattingly. He will not be held. Brings up Winfield. Winfield is hitting .264, 5 homers, 17 driven in. First havoc roll, nothing happening. 5-7, and that's a ground ball shortstop X. That's Gagne. He's a 2E24. 2 and a 5. Should still be good. He wasn't holding anybody on. So 2-5 is a G3 pound, but nobody was being held on, so it's good. Shortstop Gagne, E24. Has to avoid 4, 6, 15, 17, and 18. Which he does. So it's a good play for Gagne. Only play was to first base, and that's going to be good enough to get it done. Go to the bottom of the first. Yankees nothing. Twins coming to bat. All right, here is Steve Lombardozzi, second baseman. But we'll get the numbers on Rick Rhoden first. Rick Rhoden is 3-1 with a 3.75 earned run average. 24 innings pitched, 32 hits, 3 walks, 17 strikeouts. Lombardozzi is hitting .288, 1 homer, 6 driven in. It's a 5-6, and that's a strikeout for Rick Rhoden to start the ball game. 1 away. Here's Randy Bush, .250 hitter, a homer and 7 driven in. 6-10 for the left-hander is going to be a walk. So Bush gets the free pass. He will be held on a 4 or a 6 to get the lead. 4 or a 6. 7, he will not get the lead. And here comes Mr. Thumbnail himself, Kirby Puckett. Puckett on the replay hitting .284, 2 homers, 6 driven in. Rhoden to Puckett. 4-11. Fly ball right field X. That's Winfield. He's a 1, so we know he's going to get to it. But we'll roll it anyway to make sure it's not an F1. It's not. And then an E3 for Winfield. That's a 7. I don't believe E3 is even close to that. No, 15, 18, and 3 are the only possible errors. So he makes the play. 2 down. And that will bring up Kent Hrbek. Hrbek on the replay hitting .316, 6 homers, 15 driven in. 6-4. Ballpark blast. It's 1-11. That's gone. Let's look at it again. Kent Hrbek. 6-4. It's a ballpark blast. He has normal power. That's a 3. The ballpark blast is 1-11. So Kent Hrbek hits a 2-run home run to give the Twins a 2-0 lead early on. Home run number 7 for Hrbek. RBIs 16 and 17. And the Twins lead it 2-0 over the Yankees. That'll bring up Gaetti. Gaetti 279, 3 homers, 15 runs driven in. 2-7. That's a 1-11 double, but 20 is a single. So that's a base hit for Gaetti. Gaetti with a chance to get the lead on a 3-6. On a 12, he is caught stealing. That's a 6. He gets the lead. He's a 15, being held as a 13. -1's a 12. 1-12, Gaetti will steal it. And he does. So stolen base for Gary Gaetti. Gaetti with the stolen base. See how many stolen bases he has. That can't be very many. That's the second stolen base of the season for Gaetti. In real world, he stole 10. So he's in scoring position with 2 outs. Will not be held for DH Roy Smalley. Smalley on the replay is hitting .228. No homers, 10 driven in. 6-7. Switch hitter bang left is a strikeout to end the inning, but the 2-run bomb from Hrbek has put the Twins in the lead 2-0 after 1 complete from the Dome. Leading off for the Yankees in the top of the second will be Danny Pasqua, designated hitter, followed by Claudel Washington and Mike Pagliarulo. It's a 5-8, left-handed, struck him out. First strikeout for Blyleven. 1 away. And here's Claudel. 3-5, and that's a single to right field rather by Claudel. See if he can get the lead. He needs a 6. Only way he gets the lead is a 6. Oh, that didn't even go through. Let's redo that. 3 does not get the lead. So here's Pags. Mike Pagliarulo hitting 242, 4 homers, 9 driven in. 5-8, and that's another strikeout for Blyleven. 2 down, and that will bring up Joel Leonard Skinnard. Skinner is hitting 200, a homer and 6 driven in. 4-7, and that's a ground ball second base X. Washington is being held, so the second baseman is responsible. So Lombardozzi is now a 3 E18 instead of a 2 E18. And that can make a difference. The 3 and a 3 is going to get through for a hit. 3 and a 3 will get through for a single. 1 base advancement by Claudel. And now we'll check for an error on Lombardozzi. He's an E18. Has to avoid 13, 3, and 18. And 13 comes up all the time, it seems like, so it will be an error on top of that. Single plus the E4. And the E4 is going to move Washington to third base. So you have a single plus an error on Lombardozzi. Puts runners at second and third with 2 outs. Clutch situation for Wayne Tollison. Tollison on replay hitting 141, 2 homers and 8 driven in. 3-5, and that is a walk. It's going to load the bases for Ricky Henderson. Not what Blyleven wanted. Don't want to face bases loaded with Ricky up there. Ricky did fly to left his first time up, but he is hitting 342 on the replay. Clutch situation for Ricky, and in the clutch, he loses a hit on 110. And he also loses hits on 2-5 and 2-6. So definitely anti-clutch. 5-11, though, is a ballpark blast on Blyleven. That's an 11. That's a 6. Ricky says, don't pitch to me with the bases loaded if you know what you're doing, because that's a grand salami. A grand salami for Ricky Henderson. Home run number 4. RBIs 8, 9, 10, and 11. And just like that, the Yankees take a 4-2 lead. All runs are earned because the E4 was after a base hit. It just moved the runners up. So the home run makes that earned for everything. So 4 runs in the inning so far as Ricky goes deep with the grand salami. 4-2 Yankees back out in front. Here's Willie Randolph. That's a 2-9, and that's a walk. And that seems to be the most prevalent result after a home run is a walk. And so Blyleven in the season gave up 46 home runs. This was his 6th home run allowed in 36 innings. So he is susceptible to the gopher ball without question. Randolph can get the lead with a 3. And he gets the 3, so he will try for the lead. Or he gets the lead, he's going to steal. 19 minus 2 is a 17 for being held. Blyleven's a +4, so that's up to a 20. So actually, Sal's just going to hold the ball because his T rating's low. They'll try. Safe anyway. Stolen base for Randolph. Now he's in scoring position for Mattingly. You're not going to walk Mattingly because Winfield's right behind him, giving him great protection. So Blyleven has to try to get out of this and regroup in the dugout. 6-7 is a ground ball shortstop X. Nobody's being held, so shortstop Gagne keeps his number 2 for his range. 2 and a 4 could be problems. 2 and a 4 is a G3, but if he was holding a runner, it'd be a base hit, but he wasn't holding a runner. So it's just going to be a G3, and now he's got to avoid the E24, which once again, 4, 6, 15, 17, and 18. And notice I have a virgin tray here. I don't do like that other guy and keep all this clutter in there. We make it nice and clean. So every roll is nice and clean and independent of the other. And it is a ground out to end the inning. So 4 runs, a Abraham Lincoln 4-score inning, thanks to the Ricky Henderson grand salami. And we go to the bottom of the second. It's 4-2. Favor the Yanks. No roller dice derby here. Hello, Prague. Good to see you. Here's Bernansky. 4-4. 4-4 for Bernansky. Actually, Bernansky is hitting 260. 3 homers, 8 runs driven in. 4-4 is ground ball to third base X. That's Pagliarulo. He's a 2. 2 and a 5. He'll get to it. E20. Let's check the E20. E20 at third base. 11, 14, and 15. And that is a 13. So he barely gets through and makes that play. And there's one away. Not a very big crowd for game number 2. I guess people were getting tired or something. I don't know. I bet if I was on here talking about a bunch of nothing, there'd be 30 people in here watching it. People like to do that sometimes. Some of the people like to watch these guys get on there and talk about a bunch of nothing instead of playing games. And they draw big crowds. But that's just the way it is. 118 average for Salas. No homers and 2 driven in. 5-9, and that's a solid double to left field, or to center field, actually. So Salas with the double. 1 away and a runner on. Here's Greg Gagne. 281 hitter, 2 homers, 6 driven in. 3-7, and that is a strikeout. I'm not mentioning names, but you know who they are. I don't even have to mention them. The shoe fits, put it on. That's what I say. Here's Lombardozzi. Oh, hopping dice. Let's try again. 6-7, and that's another strikeout to end the inning. And I don't really care. I don't care if nobody watches. Doesn't bother me. I'm doing this for myself. If people want to watch other stuff, it's America. You can do whatever you want. Whatever entertains you. All right, here is Winfield back out. He was the only batter not to appear in the second inning, but he's here now. 2-9, base hit for Winfield. Winfield will not be held. I agree, Ben. And you've never seen me come on here asking people to like or subscribe to any of my videos. I just play it and people do what they want. If you got to go out and beg for people to like and subscribe, you may want to watch, you may want to do something else. I don't know. All right, here is Pasqua. Of course, like I said, that's a 1, so Blyleven. Wild pitch rating for Blyleven is a 10. And now I can't remember if I rolled the D20 previously or not, but we're going to go with it. It's a 1. It's going to be a wild pitch. So wild pitch will move Winfield. Yeah, the 1 just came up, Larry, so you're right on time. Here's Pasqua. Struck out his first chance. 3-5. He's going to draw a walk. So the wild pitch really was non-effect because the runner would have got to second either way. Now it's first and second. Nobody out for Claudel. I know, Ernest, but somebody's got to be kind in this cruel world. 5-10. That is a ballpark blast. It's 1-11. That's a 5. Claudel, normal power, goes deep. It's a 3-run bomb, and it's 7-2 Yankees. And Blyleven just hit fatigue because of that. Look at it again. 5-10. Ballpark blast. That's a 5. Ballpark home runs are an 11. So Claudel Washington with the dinger 3-run shot makes it 7-2. And there's nobody out here in the top of the third. I was hoping this would be more of a decent game, but the Yankees are just laying waste to Blyleven. Claudell Washington, 3-run bomb. And for Claudell, that's his first home run of the year. RBI is 6, 7, and 8. Blyleven is fatigued, but they're going to keep going because they don't want to go to the bullpen this early. So they'll keep it going. So they went from a 2-0 lead now to trailing 7-2. And here's Pagliarulo. (6-9). That's a ground ball to second. And Larry, that gives maybe some credence to the conspiracy theory that Strat is rating the Yankee cards better than they should, just because they're a New York operation. I don't know if that's true, but I've heard people kind of hint about that. Same with the Mets, I guess. I don't know. 3-5. That's a ground ball to short to end the inning. But a 3-run bomb from Claudell Washington gives the Yankees a comfortable 7-2 lead. And they turn it over to the veteran Rick Rhoden. It'll be Bush, Puckett, and Herbeck due up for the Twinks. Oh, check that. That's only 2 outs. My bad. Should have known it was only 2 outs because Blyleven is so terrible in this game. There are only 2 outs, so Tollefson does get the bat. 3-10 for Tollefson. He's going to ground to second plus an injury, so now there are 3 outs, and he's going to have to leave the game most likely. He's going to need a 1, 2, 3, or 4 on the D20 to stay in the game. He does not. So Tollefson will have to leave, and the Yankees will bring in a new shortstop. And their new shortstop is going to be the only guy left on the team, I believe, that can play shortstop, and that's Paul Zuvella. So Zuvella will take over at shortstop for Tollefson. So Zuvella, shortstop in the third. So Zuvella is your new shortstop. And his error rating, he's a 4E48. So not good at all. 4E48 for Zuvella. So Randy Bush will lead it off. Bush walked and scored first time up. 1-7 struck him out. That's strikeout number 5 for Rick Rhoden. Hello, Kenyon. Good to see you. Puckett, 2-3. That's a fly ball to center field. Claudell is there. And now that he's got the big lead, Rick Rhoden is in cruise control. Here's Herbeck. He hit his 7th home run of the season. First time up, 2-4. Ground ball to first. An easy play for Mattingly. 1-2-3 inning. And now the Yankees look to have seized control of the ball game as they lead it 7-2 after 3. All right, here is Bert Blyleven back out. He is tired. So any dot on his card is susceptible to a base hit. Here's Ricky. He only hit a grand slam his last time up. That's all, nothing else. 1-8, and that's a 1-8 walk. So Ricky will draw the walk. And Ricky says, I don't care what the score is, I'm running. So a 6 or a 7 gets him the lead. And he gets a 6, he will get the lead, and he'll get the steal. That's a 19, minus 2 is a 17, plus 4 is a 21. So the only way to get him is on a 20. And that's 2, so it's possible throwing error on Salas, but he's only a T2. So there's no throwing error. That's why he threw through. If he had a high T rating, I would have had him eat it. But Ricky Henderson gets the stolen base. And that brings up Willie Randolph. Tom Kelly not too happy about Ricky running with the score what it is, but Ricky letting him know about one chance for a wild pitch. And again, so there you go, Larry, got another one. Blyleven 1-10, but no wild pitch this time. Here's the pitch to Randolph, 6-7, struck him out. One away for Donnie Baseball. 2-4, and that's ground ball to pitcher A. It's going to freeze Henderson at second base. And they'll throw Mattingly at it first. And here comes Winfield in a clutch situation. Gains a hit on 111. And that's it. Everything else is neutral. 3-6. He's going to ground it to short, and that's going to end the inning. So we go to the bottom of the fourth. And it is 7-2, still the score. Hey, was it Triple G? I think you call yourself Triple G. I want to get that right. I think you actually refer to yourself as Triple G instead of GGG. So I want to make sure I get that right. Don't want to mess up anybody's name. All right, so it's Gary Gaetti to lead it off. Twins aren't winning right now. They're down 7-2, but there's still some time to go. And in the Homer Dome, anything can happen. There's Gaetti, 4-6, struck him out. But Rick Rhoden looks awful tough. Here's Roy Smalley, DH, 4-5, and that is a line out to Mattingly for out number 2. And in case you missed it earlier, I just live streamed the White Sox and the Oriole game, so this is a double dip on a Saturday night. I still have full endurance, so I'm good to go. Brunansky, 1-6. 1-9 is a single. That's a base hit for Brunansky. Brunansky can get the lead on a 3-7, but he also gets caught 8-12, so he will not try it. They will hold him on, but he will not try anything. Here's Salas. 6-3, ground ball pitcher X. That's Rhoden. He is a 3-E-8. 3-8, he'll get to an E8 for a pitcher. Check the error chances on a pitcher. E8. 6-15, 17, basically 3-6, and then 15 through 18. That's an 11, so he will make the play, no problem. Inning is over. And in fact, this is my third stream today because I streamed the Reds and the Cardinals earlier. So talk about, and that was in History Maker. So talk about super endurance. There we go. Unfazed. Here's Dan Pasqua. No dots at all. Pasqua, the batter, struck out and walked. 4-4. Fly ball center field X. That's Puckett. It's a 1. He'll get to it. E6 is his only concern. E6 and a 12. I don't think that's going to be a problem. Let's take a look. Center fielder. Center fielder, E6, 4, 13, 15, and 18. No 12. So good play for Puckett. Pasqua gone. Here's Claudel. He had the 3-run homer. Last time up, 3-9. This time he will hit a single 1-5, but that's a 20, so he lines it to Lombardozzi. Out number 2. And if you missed the beginning of the Oriole White Sox game, I did a recap of the April stats, so you can go back and watch that and see how the players are doing and the teams are doing. Pagliarulo, 2-10. He's going to ground it to Lombardozzi to end the inning. Maybe I had too much coffee this morning. I don't know, but definitely kind of wired tonight. Here's Rick Rhoden. Got a little bit of ID Jester sarcasm in me tonight as well. All right, here's Gagne. 4-4. That's a ground ball third base X. That is going to be Pagliarulo. He's a 2. 2 and a 1. That's going to get, there's a 1 again, Larry. There you go. Another 1 for you. So a 2 and a 1 is going to be a base hit for Gagne. It's a base hit. E20. It's got to avoid 11, 14, and 15. That's a 3. I don't think there's a 3 on here. No, there's not. That's going to be a good. It won't be an error. It'll be a single, though, but it won't be an error. So you don't think, Larry, you don't think ID is sarcastic? You think he's truly that way? That he's an arrogant SOB and not putting on a show? All right, here is Lombardo's. You don't have to answer that, by the way. It was a rhetorical question. All right, here's Lombardozzi. 410. That's a fly ball center field X. That's Claudel. He's a 3. 3 and a 15. He'll get to it. He is an E5. And that is a 14 on an E5. Interesting choice there. E5, a 14, 4, 16, 17, and 18, but no 14. So it's good play for Claudel as he retires Lombardozzi. 1 down, and here's Randy Bush, or Randy Bird in the Hand Bush, as Chris Berman used to call him. 3-5, and that is a 1-12 home run. That's a 7. It's gone. Look at it again. Here in the middle. 3-5. 1-12 is a homer. That's a 7. It's gone. Randy Bush. His second home run of the season, a 2-run shot, makes it 7-4. So now the Twins feel like they're back in the game as Gagne scores in front of him to make it 7-4. Second home run, RBIs 8 and 9 for Randy Bush. Now it's a 7-4 game. Here comes Puckett. 6-5. That's a fly to center. Again, Claudel with the play. 2 down. And that'll bring up Kent Hrbek. Hrbek homered in the first, hit a 2-run shot. Put the Twins in the lead early. Didn't hold it. 6-9. That's a fly to left. Ricky puts it away, but a 2-run bomb from Randy Bush cuts the lead to 7-4 after 5 innings of play. Blyleven still hanging in there despite being tired early on. He's trying to give him some innings as much as possible. All right. So Joel Skinner will lead things off in the top of the 6th. He's 0 for 1 with a walk. Four, 5, and that's a pop out to Lombardozzi on away. Here's Paul Zuvella. He came in for the injured. What am I doing? That's Skinner. That wasn't Skinner's at bat. That was Zuvella's at bat. My bad. No, it wasn't. I just put it in the wrong column. That's what happened. Or did I give I didn't give the Yankees 4 outs. I know I didn't give the Yankees 4 outs last time. I may have. That's what I get for rambling instead of concentrating on my game. Zuvella is the one that pops out to second because it was against the right-hander. So that's just going to keep where we're going here. So Zuvella pops out. And here's Ricky. 3-10 for Ricky is a ground ball to short. That's out number 2. So 2 down. Base is empty. And it brings up Randolph. Blyleven's still hanging in. Oh, I know what it was. It was I just marked the wrong spot. That's what that was, the third out right there. That's what happened. That was the third out. That's what happened. Now I'm straight. All right, bottom of the sixth we go. Skinner did fly to the left. Yes, Larry, thank you for that. I was able to reconstruct that and yeah, thank you, Alex. I saw what I did, and the computer helped me out too because it told me when Ricky made an out, it was the end of the inning. So. But in case you missed it earlier, my correction tape is broken, so I don't have whiteout. So until I can get to Walmart tomorrow and get some more whiteout, I'm just going to have to make a little scribblies here on the score sheet. It's not pretty, as they say, but I'm not going for pretty. I'm going for accuracy and all steak, no sizzle. All right, so I forgot to write down Herbeck grounded out to end the inning. So Gaetti is going to start the inning, bottom of the sixth. It'll be Gaetti, followed by Smalley and Bernansky. Yes, Chuck, another Strat game breaks out. 1-5, and that's going to be a ground ball to short. And that's for the new shortstop, Zuvella, will make the play. Wayne Tollison was injured earlier in the game, so he had to leave, and Zuvella took his place. There's Smalley, 4-10, switch hitter batting left, ground ball third base X. That's Pagliarulo. He's a 2. 2 and a 1. There's another 1 for you, Larry. Is anybody counting these to see how many times a 1 comes up? That's a base hit again. Doesn't matter what color the D20 is, it seems to come up 1s like a lot of time here. Yeah, to be like ID. I wish I could be like ID. He's my hero. All right, so E20, and that's a 9. There's no E20. There's no error on that. It's just a base hit for Smalley. He's aboard with 1 out for Bernansky. .37 for Bernansky. That's a single to center field. That's going to put runners at first and second. Only 1 out. Twins might be looking to get back in this thing. 1 more base runner, and Rhoden will be tired also. Here's Salas. 3-5 for Salas. He gets hit by a pitch, and that's going to load the bases. And it's also, computer's not saying it, but to me, Rick Rhoden should be tired right now. He's given up 3 base runners in his fatigue inning. So to me, he is tired, unless they're saying the hit by pitch doesn't count, which doesn't make any sense. Bases are loaded, 1 out for Gagne. Infield looking for the double play. 5-7, ground ball shortstop X. That's Zuvella. He's a 4E48, so that's really bad news. 4-3, that's definitely bad news. So the Tollison injury really come back to bite the Yankees. He's a 4 and a 3. It's a single, 2 stars. So that's a 2-run single for Greg Gagne, and then we got to check for an error. It's going to move Salas to third. Gagne singles, and now the error, E48 at shortstop. That's way down here, 6, 12, 15, 3, 16, and 18. A lot of numbers you can hit. That is an 11. Let's see, E48. There is no 11. He got a break. There's a 12 there, but no 11. But it's a 2-run single off the bat of Greg Gagne. And now Rick Rhoden, even the computer admits he's tired now. So it is now a 7-6 ball game. Runners on the corners. Gagne can get the lead if he likes or try for it. 2 through 6, he gets the lead. 8, he gets caught stealing. 6, he gets the lead. So 15, being held as a 13, -1's a 12. 1 to 12, and Gagne steals second base. And he does. Stolen base for Gagne. So with one out, he gets into scoring position as well, takes the double play out of the equation. Double play out of the equation, and Lombardozzi, your batter. Bullpen action for the Yankees in full force. Let's take a look and see if anybody's tired or if everybody is good to go out of their bullpen. Everyone is showing good to go. So we're looking at right-hander. Let's see who's got the most. I don't want to overwork anybody. Looks like they're going to go to Tim Stoddard out of the bullpen. Tim Stoddard. And they're going to pull Rhoden. So Tim Stoddard will be coming on to pitch for the Yankees, as Lou Piniella has seen enough of Rick Rhoden to know he has seen too much. So Tim Stoddard, he's a +4. Oops, see, I put him on the wrong. I did another error. I put him in the wrong spot, didn't I? And I don't have the white out. That's what happens when you play 3 games in one day, I guess. It's bound to happen. All right. We'll have to live with it. I'll live with the mess. I've got this thing here, but it has not been working, so and I still can't get it to work. Looks like it's didn't feed right or something. I can see the white part right here. I don't know why it's not working, but for some reason this thing just does not want to work. It's got a lot of tape. Well, you know what? It looks like it's out of tape now to look at it. If I'm looking through here, it looks like it's probably out of tape. That looks like what the cause is. So there you go. That's why it wasn't working, because it's out of tape. Makes sense. It wasn't user error, it was out of tape error. So Tim Stoddard coming on for Rhoden. On the replay, Stoddard 2-1 with a 0.75 earned run average. 12 innings pitched, 12 hits, 3 walks, and 18 strikeouts. And he can certainly use one right now. Runners at second and third, nobody, 1 out rather, and the infield is in. Trying to choke that run off. It's a 2-5. Oops, get Lombardozzi up here. 2-5 for Lombardozzi. That's a pop out to third base. So he pops out to Pagliarulo for out number 2. And now that brings up Randy Bush. Bush hit a 2-run homer his last time up, but you're not going to walk him to pitch to Puckett, although Puckett is 0 for 3. You still can't. You can't do that. You just can't. That's a 2. Chance for a balk or a pass ball. Chance for a pass ball. I'm sorry, a wild pitch, not a. No, it's pass ball, wasn't it? So it's a balk chance for Stoddard because we rolled a 2. So Stoddard's balk rating, per the computer, is 0. So there is no balk to worry about. Pitch to Bush, 5-4. That is a fly to center. That's going to end the inning. So 2 runs come in, but the Yankees maintain a 7-6 lead as we go to the 7th. And Blyleven has been tired since the 3rd inning, but he's hung in there and has kept his team in the game, kept the Yankees off the board for 3 straight innings. Now he's got to face the heart of the order again with Randolph, Mattingly, and Winfield. 5-7, that is a ground ball to shortstop X. Gagney's a 2E24. 2-18, he'll get to it. E24. That's a 12. Should be good to go. E24. There is no 12, so he's good to go. 3 ground out. 1 away for Don Mattingly. 5-9, and that's a strikeout. Blyleven getting a second wind. Here's Winfield. 4-6, and that's a walk. 2-out walk to Winfield. Winfield is not going to be held. Here's Pasqua. Pasqua is 0 for 2 with a walk. 112, and that's a straight-up home run for Danny Pasqua, and that will definitely do it. That will definitely do it for Burt Blyleven. 112 is a solid home run, no doubt about it. Home run number 4 for Pasqua. RBIs 6 and 7, and this is now a 9-6 ball game. Gopher ball has bitten Blyleven for the 3rd time, and this time it bit too much. He has no comeback for it. So a 2-run shot makes it 9-6, and that will do it for Blyleven. So let's see who the new pitcher is going to be for the Twins. We go to their bullpen. Make sure nobody is fatigued. Joe Klink was fatigued the previous game, but is fatigued no longer. So the Colonel, Joe Klink, the left-hander, the lone lefty in the bullpen, will be coming on for the Twins to face lefties Pasqua, Washington, and Pagliarulo. So the Colonel, Joe Klink, will be on. He's a -4 hold, so that makes it a -2. So let's get the totals, the gory totals on Blyleven, now that his day is done and the bases are empty. Get his official totals. And we'll get the totals for Rhoden as well. Blyleven's going to go 6 2/3, 7 hits, 9 runs, all earned, 5 walks, 4 strikeouts, and 3 home runs allowed. Rick Rhoden, 5 1/3, 9 hits, 6 runs allowed, 1 walk, and 6 strikeouts, and he gave up 2 homers as well. So definitely not a pitching duel like the previous game was. So Claudell Washington will step in what is now a 9-6 game. 2 outs and the base is clear. Klink, 5-5, issues a walk. I was going to say Klink comes in the game mid-inning, so he's an ace in this at bat, but that's a different game. So here's Pagliarulo. .65, and that is a fly ball to right field. Hauled in out there by the right fielder, Bush, but the damage done, a 2-run bomb from Pasqua. And the Yankees now lead it 9-6 as we go to the 7th inning stretch here at the Homer Dome. It is 9-6. Puckett will lead it off for the Twins against Tim Stoddard. It'll be Puckett, Herbeck, and Gaetti, heart of the order. 3-8, ground ball to short. Zuvella is there, 1 away for Herbeck. 2-7, 1-11 double. That's an 8. It'll be a double for Mr. Herbeck. He is homered and now doubled. He is 2 for 4. Herbeck not going to be held on. Here's Gaetti. He's 1 for 3. 2-2, and that's a pop out to second. Willie Randolph takes it, 2 down. And it's going to be up to Roy Smalley. Smalley is 1 for 3. This is a clutch situation. He does lose a clutch hit on a 1-7. That's a 2, so chance of a balk or a pass ball. Balk chance, but Stoddard has a 0 balk rating. 4-10, switch hitter batting left. 4-10's a fly ball center field X. That's Claudell. He's a 3. 3-7. Might be iffy, but he should get to it. 3-7 for an outfielder. 3-7 is an F1. He does get to it. He is an E5. So 4, 16, 17, and 18. 6, he makes the play. And that will end the inning. So we go to the 8th inning. Score still 9-6. Favor of the Yankees as they look to take a half-game lead over second-place Brewers. Brewers later in the schedule, of course, will have their game to play. We'll see what happens with that. I believe they are in, without looking at the schedule, I think they're playing at Seattle because they've already played at Oakland. I think they've already played at California. So it's the other team on the West Coast. It would be the Seattle Mariners. So I believe it is Seattle that they will be playing. But they'll have to win to keep up with the Yankees if this score holds up. So Klink back out. He'll be facing Skinner, Zuvella, and Henderson. 3-9 against the lefty is a walk. And now right-handed action in the Minnesota bullpen. As looks like George Frazier is loosening in that bullpen. George Frazier, the right-hander, is loosening. Skinner will not be held, and here is Zuvella. 3-7, and that's a ground ball to short. That's going to be a double play, 6-4-3. Oh, I'm sorry, it's a left-hander. So it's a pop out to short. My bad. I looked at the right-hander, but I forgot Klink's a lefty, so it's a pop out to short on the 3-7. Not a double play. One away, and that brings up Ricky. And I don't think they want to have Klink pitch to Ricky. So Klink's going to leave, and George Frazier will take over. Now they're getting some right-handers in there. It'll be George Frazier coming in for Klink. Frazier a +5 hold, so that's horrible. But it may not matter this late in the game. So we bring in George Frazier. And on the replay, Frazier is 0-0 with no saves, a .261 earned run average, 10 innings pitched, 9 hits, 4 walks, 6 strikeouts. So Frazier will try to get out of the jam. Facing Ricky with 1 out and 1 on. 1-9, and that's another walk. So Ricky coaxes another walk. And now that sends up Randolph, first and second, 1 out. Twins could use a double play. 5-7. They get a ground ball second base X. They got a chance for that double play. Lombardozzi's a 2. That's a 10. Is that a G1 or a G2? A 2 and a 10 is a G1. 2 and a 10 is a G1. So possible double play. He's an E18. He's got to avoid 13, 3, and 18. That 13 has come up more than I care to mention. But not this time. He will make the play. It's going to be a double play. It's going to go 6-4-3. Double play to end the inning. So Frazier gets out of the jam, prevents any further damage. And we go to the bottom of the 8th. Score still 9-6. It's not over yet, folks. The Twins are certainly capable of putting up some more runs. No question about it. Stoddard, does he stay in the game? He will. At least a little while longer. Not Rigetti time yet. So Bernansky will lead it off against Stoddard. And let's see, Stoddard. Facing Bernansky, 3-2. That's a ballpark single check. 1-13. That's a 7. It's a base hit. Or Bernansky. That'll send up Mark Salas. Bernansky will be held, but he won't try to go anywhere. Stoddard to Salas. Oops. Stoddard to Salas. 5-9, and that's a strikeout. He's not tired yet. It's not there, but he is not fatigued as of yet. And that'll bring up Greg Gagne. We are in the 8th inning, so pinch hitting is allowed if they want to pinch hit for Gagne, although he is 2 for 3. He is a 265 hitter. Lefties off the bench, they don't really have many. They've got one. They got Al Newman, a switch hitter, but he's a horrible hitter. So we're going to stick with Gagne. They don't really have anybody better on the bench. One 6, and he's going to ground to short for a double play. 6-4-3. Double play ends the inning. So we go to the 9th. That's going to be all for Stoddard. He's done. Frazier will continue. As he'll be facing Randolph, Mattingly, and Winfield. Heart of the order here in the 9th inning. Dave Righetti loosing in the Yankee bullpen. Stoddard yeoman work, 2 2/3 for Stoddard. Certainly did a fine job out of the bullpen. Get his totals for you. 2 2/3 for Stoddard. 2 hits, no runs. No walks and a strikeout. For Klink, he goes 2/3 of an inning. Does walk 2 batters, but gives up nothing in the interim. Frazier to date 2/3 of an inning with a walk, but he's going to come out for his 2nd inning of work and face the heart of the Yankee order, trying to keep the score at 9-6. That's his goal. Here's Randolph. 3-5 for Randolph as a leadoff walk. Randolph will walk, but he will not. Well, you know what? With the +5, they can't help themselves. They're going to have to try to get the lead. But he needs a 3 to do so. Does not get the lead, so he will hold. And now Mattingly will be back out with Randolph at first. And I'm sorry, that was not Randolph. That should have been Mattingly because Randolph hit to the double play last time. So the result, now I don't remember what the result was. So I need to go back. I have to do an instant replay to get the dice check, a la Jeffrey Guterman's channel, where he does that sometimes. But it can't come into play. So I want to see what the roll was, because it should have been Mattingly, not Randolph. Or I could just re-roll and start all over. Might be, you know what? I'm not even going to look at the results. I'm just going to start over. Seems to make the most sense. Mattingly wants his own dice. He's not going to be a used dice person. You're not going to take away Randolph's garbage. So Mattingly will be up 1-7. That's a 1-17 double. 18-20 is a single. That's a double for Mattingly. So it goes from a walk to a double for Mattingly. So I need to go and edit that and give Mattingly the double, not the walk. So Mattingly doubles, brings up Winfield. One 2 for Winfield, and that's a split chance. 1-18 is a single, but that's a 20, so he lines it to short. 1 away. And that will send us to Pasqua. He homered his last time up. But that was against Blyleven to chase him out. 3-5 for Pasqua is a walk. It's going to put runners at first and second. Does set up a double play for Claudell Washington. Frazier trying to get out of it. 4-9. Ground ball second base C. That'll advance the runners to second and third. So now 2 outs and 2 in scoring position. Clutch situation for Pagliarulo. But they will not pitch to Pagliarulo. They will walk him intentionally and take their chances with Joel Skinner, righty on righty. They're not going to let Pagliarulo go deep on him. So Skinner with the bases loaded. Bases are loaded. And 2 away. Clutch situation. Skinner is neutral in the clutch. 2-5, and it's ground ball to short. That's going to end the inning. 6-4 fielder's choice does it. So the intentional walk pays off. And we go to the bottom of the 9th, 9-6, our score. And that means it's Righetti time. Dave Righetti coming in for the Yankees. Try to lock it down. Cheap 3-run save just to pad the stats. But Righetti's all about padding stats. And Righetti on the replay checks in. One 1-0 with 4 saves. Does have a high ERA at 4.76. 11 innings pitched, 11 hits, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts. Lombardozzi is your leadoff man, but he is 0 for 4. So he's going to be called back for a pinch hitter. And let's see who the Twins want to go to. Who they have on the bench that's even remotely any good. Well, they got Dan Gladden, so they're going to start with Dan Gladden. That's a good place to start. He is your typical leadoff hitter, so that's a good guy to start with. Dan Mann from Gladden. He will come on and pinch hit for Lombardozzi. Gladden on the replay hitting .294, 2 homers, 7 runs driven in. 9-6 Yankees, bottom of the 9th. Righetti on to try to secure his save. He's a -5 hold, so the Twins aren't going to run anyway, down by 3, but they're definitely not going to run now. So Gladden hitting .294, 2 homers, 7 driven in. Will pinch hit for Lombardozzi. 3-12, and he's hit by the pitch, so how about that? Righetti comes in and plunks Dan Gladden. Sure, that was not intentional. I think he wants to put somebody on base like that. Hello, Mr. Little. Good to see you. And Randy Bush is going to be called back because he can't hit left-handed pitching. And the Twins will go to another pinch hitter, another right-hander off the bench. And it will be Mark Davidson, a .267 hitter. And if it goes extra innings, he would stay in the game to play right field. So 2, we had Gladden pinch hit. And on the number 3 circle, it's going to be Davidson pitch hitting. So Mark Davidson is coming on for Randy Bush. Bush had a 2-run homer in the 5th, but that was off of the righty Rhoden against the lefty Righetti. Doubtful he'll do anything close to that. So Davidson is on. And Davidson's hitting a .190 in 21 at bats. He was a .267 hitter real world. So Righetti, nothing on the havoc. 5-7 is another walk by Righetti. So a hit by pitch and a walk. So Righetti, a little bit of control issues. Now the tying run is at the plate in Kirby Puckett. 1 long ball away from a tie game. Yankees at one point led 7-2. .17 for Puckett. That's a double to center field for Puckett. That's going to score Gladden from second. Davidson will hold because his run doesn't mean anything. They will hold him at third. It's now 9-7. Tying runs are in scoring position with nobody out for Kent Herbeck. Righetti having some issues. Infield is back. They need an out. 4-6, and that's a strikeout and a big one for Righetti. Here comes Gary Gaetti. Smalley and Brunansky to follow. But Lou Piniella, he's going to give the four fingers to Gary Gaetti and put him on base. Set up a force at any base for the weaker hitter, Roy Smalley. Smalley is 0 for 4. I'm sorry, he's 1 for 4. See if Tom Kelly counters with a pinch hitter. They do have Tim Lauder, but he's not very good. Al Newman's not very good, so I think we have to stick with Smalley. I think that's who we're going to stick with. Bases are loaded, 1 out. Infield looking for the double play. That's a 3-6, and that is a ground ball to shortstop A, 6-4-3 double play. I'm telling you, you don't see managing like this on any other freaking channel, so you might as well come here to get good managing if that's what you want. If you don't care, if you want fluff, go watch the other channels. You want solid managing, stick right here. Who else is going to walk Gary Gaetti and put the winning run on base? Nobody. Thank you. You're welcome. 6-4-3 double play. Game is over. Yankees win. Yankees win. The Yankees win. Nine to 7, the final. Yankees improved to 16-6. Twins dropped to 9-13. 9 runs, 8 hits, no errors for the Yankees. 7 runs, 12 hits, and 1 error for the Twins. Both of them left 8 on base. Blyleven, the loser, he is now 3-3. Rick Rhoden, the winner, is now 4-1. Dave Righetti gets save number 5. He did go an inning, give up a hit and a run. He walked 2 batters, struck out 1, and he also hit a batter, but he gets the save nonetheless. And the ball game is over. Ball game is over as Roy Smalley hits into the double play to end it. Yankees improved to 16-6. Twins 9-13. Yankees take a half-game lead on the Brewers, but the Brewers will play Seattle later on this May 1st date, and a victory over Seattle will put them back into a tie with the Yankees. So I'll have my whiteout, or not my whiteout, but my correction tape with me for future games, so I won't have this mess like I did tonight when my correction tape ran out on me. So, hello, Randall. Good to see you. Haven't seen you in a while, so it's good to see you. That's right, March Madness, Chuck. I remember when I did May Madness in Strat-O-Matic. That was kind of fun a couple years ago when I did that. But I really want to do a full, my bucket list is this right here, playing a full replay. A real bucket list is play the whole league on a full replay, but I don't have time for that. Not when I'm doing History Maker and Game of the Week and everything else. When I retire, maybe I can do that. But right now, I have to just settle for this. All right, so home runs in the game. Ricky Henderson grand slam in the second. That was big. Claudell Washington hit one in the third. Dan Pascal hit one in the seventh. For the Twins, Herbeck, his 7th home run, a 2-run shot in the first. Bush, his 2nd home run, a 2-run shot in the 5th. So the Homer Dome did produce 5 home runs in this game. Also produced 16 runs and 20 hits. So living up to its name, the Homer Dome. There you are. So there you have it. Yankees win it 9-7. And the third live stream of the day is in the books. Had 1 History Maker live stream and then 2 Strat-O-Matic live streams back to back. And I still have endurance, but it's late and it's time to go to bed. And the wife's probably wondering what the heck I'm doing up here so long. So life gets in the way. You can't keep playing all the time. But next game in the replay, speaking of ID Jester, is going to be the Cleveland Indians and the Kansas City Royals with ID Jester's favorite pitcher, Mark Gubaza, on the mound. And it'll be game number 150 in the replay when we get there. It'll be from Royal Stadium in Kansas City. Phil Niekro against Mark Gubaza. But until then, that's going to do it from here. Hope you enjoyed that presentation of Strat-O-Matic Super Advanced 1987 style. And until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.